everybody, this is Eric again with another Battle Tanks League commentary video. And we're going to start with Alrion, who teleported into the middle as Tinker. He does like to go that build. Ultima also teleported in as a Tinker from the North team. You wonder if Alrion actually got teleport as his first ability, and if he's going to try to kill Ultima. Ultima wisely not trying to push the middle and is just staying around his own creeps. So let's see if Ultima can also build a tower if he also got teleport. Neither of them are building a tower so far. Alrion is able to use the dodge to counter Ultima's energy torpedo, but if Ultima can get another one off, Alrion's going to die. Both of them are going to have to farm up to level 2 before they can build their towers, so it is going to be crucial for Marquez and BlackBull to help Ultima push into this middle section, and the same is true for Samael and Escanor. Whoever is able to keep this middle spot is going to be able to put their towers near this strategic location. So let's see, Marquez is on the North team with a scout and an electro cannon, and then BlackBull accompanies them with a helicopter and a light plasma gun. I wonder if he picked that instead of randoming that. He seems to get that build often. And then meanwhile, Escanor is on the South team with a light tank and 2 basic magics, and it looks like they're able to help Alrion maintain this middle position and start putting his towers here, along with Samael, who has a helicopter and bombard rockets, and he also got that the last game, I recall, so I wonder if he also picked that instead of randoming it. Marquez is vulnerable. If they can get another shot on him, Marquez is barely able to survive, and so is Ultima. He does have to teleport out of the way, though. Nearly a couple of kills for the South team there. Meanwhile, on the top, we have Fenix and a light tank with a light cannon. Pikabar once again reminding me to turn on the mic, and yes, I do have it on. Pikabar is in a basic magic, or in a light tank, and he has a basic magic upgrade and a basic magic. And he is the #1 ranked player in the world, and so he is probably going to push on Fenix for a while, given that they spawned with the same tank. So Pikabar is able to use his just superior skill. Fenix is definitely a good player as well, but not quite the #1 rank, and so Pikabar is going to push on Fenix. You can see he already has a half level advantage over him. That's not that big of a deal in the early game, because the difference between level 3.3 and level 2.8 is not that much experience, but let's see if Pikabar is able to continue pushing his creeps on Fenix and exacerbate that lead. And then meanwhile on the bottom, it looks like we have Incognito, who random scout and got an electro cannon. He is facing up against Todd. Both of these players are pretty skilled players. I think Todd is the higher ranked player though. The scout does have a special tank cannon that does extra damage to creeps and has extra range, and so that is why Incognito is able to push Todd for now. He can use that DPS of the creep cannon to kill off the creeps, and then he can try to get kills on Todd from long range with his bombard rockets where Todd can't hit him back. And you saw Incognito actually almost got a kill on Todd there. One more volley with the electro cannon and he would have died. But Incognito was able to get behind his creeps and get into the command post in time. He does try to use the Q ability. I don't actually know what it's called. And he does hit Todd and a group of creeps with it, but Todd is still pushing Incognito is still pushing Todd's tower for now. Alrion pushing a little bit far closer to this strategic location in the middle. Let's see if he's able to build a 3rd tower and get it close to this flag here. Both Marquez and Samael, or BlackBull, neither of them went 1300 range, so they will be able to deal damage to Alrion's towers. Alrion did kill Marquez by teleporting into a spot where Marquez was the only person in range of his energy torpedo, so he got a kill there. Well played by him. And then it looks like Ultima changed his scout to a Tinker. Samael is vulnerable. BlackBull is able, or Marquez, sorry, is able to get the kill on him. Did Marquez have a, yeah, Marquez had a scout, he changed to a helicopter, and then Ultima had a Tinker, he changed to a scout. So we've got 2 helicopters on the North team and only one with 1300 range. So they should be able to push on Alrion's towers if they're able to get advantageous trades with these tanks. So Alrion won't be able to. Alrion could go scout like he did last game, but last game he was facing 2 relatively weak players in the middle. He was able to change from Tinker to scout really quickly and then farm up enough to get a hunter at less than 17 minutes, which was pretty incredible. He might try to farm up a bit as Tinker. You can see he's upgrading his energy torpedo instead of getting a hull or a tank, so he's playing pretty aggressively right now. He's pretty confident that nobody is going to be able to hit him and kill him at 258 hit points. And he's going to try to increase the damage of his energy torpedo to 650 to continue trying to get opportune kills on these enemy tanks. Meanwhile, we have Incognito, who is still pushing the Tower of Todd. It is 5 minutes into the game, so Todd just got, and well, everybody got 4 gold, and Todd probably went back to buy basic magic and a tech mech. So now he has a bit less of a DPS disadvantage compared to Incognito. Now it's 368 to 305. So let's see if Todd is able to take advantage of the more aggressive abilities of the anti-grav to start pushing back on Incognito. If he is able to get his W skill, it'll probably take a couple of more levels before he becomes really dangerous to Incognito, but if he is able to skill at least 1 level of jump and also the W ability, then he can hop onto Incognito, close the gap between them, and then stun him. And 1300 range doesn't matter when the enemy is 400 range away from you. Looks like Fenix and pikabar killed one another on the top. Alrion trying to get a kill on Marquez. He is able to. Marquez and BlackBull, the only players there. There are no creeps around to share damage with them. Then Escanor has added a hull to his light tank. Samael is probably going to save up for a second bombard rockets and just try to deal damage from long range and not need to get a hull. Alrion is vulnerable, but he did buy a hull, so he didn't die to that energy torpedo. Looks like he is planning on sticking with Tinker for a while. He might use the Tinker to farm up to a hunter and possibly a heavy tank if he needs to get a tank quickly. And then looks like Todd killed Incognito on the bottom. He is level 5 now, so he probably has at least 1 level in jump. Or maybe he put it into the W ability. Either way, those abilities are great for closing the gap between enemy tanks. And so 1300 range is not that effective against anti-grav. And Incognito does change tank from a scout to a distributor, which is better able to deal damage to that anti-grav. He still has the long-range weapon, but he'll probably get some basic magics now that, or maybe even a star shooter, now that Todd is pretty dangerous to him. Pikabar has brought a tech mech along with him, and he also has an iron hull. That tech mech is able to help him repair and maintain an aggressive position on Fenix. By standing in this strategic location and having the tech mech repair, you can see Pikabar regenerating quite quickly, and in a pinch this tech mech can also be used to tank for him. Tech mech actually has, I think, more hit points than Pikabar himself does. If Fenix is able to damage that tech mech enough, Pikabar will have to pull it back and have to wait a few minutes for that tech mech to be repaired. For now, Pikabar is able to maintain that position. Looks like Incognito is going to teleport in. They're going to try to attempt a gank. If Fenix has triple rockets in him that can stun him, they can maybe get the kill. For now, Pikabar is able to get away. He didn't have a triple rockets available, and so Incognito was trying to be aggressive but ran into a wall of creeps and wasn't able to do enough damage to Pikabar to kill him. Looks like Todd now has 3 basic magics. I wonder if he has the Q ability in him. He uses the W ability to freeze Incognito in place. It's actually not necessary. Incognito dies before he can even walk back to his own command post. Bit of a misplay there by Incognito. Or by Incognito. Teleports back in. He now has a basic magic in addition to the bombard rockets. But if he has a few heat-seeking missiles in him, he can kill Todd. He's going to have to wait till level 7 so that they can recharge pretty quickly. Brings in a tech mech to repair the tower, and now Todd might be pretty aggressive against him. Incognito can ward him off with the energy, or with the heat-seeking missiles. And Todd jumps out of the way. He's going to go heal up and then put some more pressure on him. Todd is pretty close to getting a hull. Once he gets a hull, he can continue pressing. A couple of triple rockets go on Escanor, and they're able to get the kill on him. Good play by Marquez and BlackBull there. And it looks like Marquez has added a hull to the electro cannon that he has, and then BlackBull is saving up likely for another light plasma gun. He might get an electro cannon instead. We'll see what he ends up doing. Alrion is probably saving up for a second energy torpedo, and then Escanor is saving up possibly for a third weapon, and then he'll save for a tank. And then Samael, he's pretty slow to get that second bombard. bombard, it's not going to happen until 10 minutes, and so you wonder if he might as well just try to get an energy torpedo at this point, but I don't think he has a tech mech, so he's going to have to go back to the base anyway. Pikabar, or actually Fenix, putting some pressure on Pikabar at the top. BlackBull is there to teleport in, and now they're going to try to gank him. 2 triple rockets go off, and Fenix is going to die. Good play there by BlackBull to swing that fight. And yeah, you can see Samael, not quite sure what he bought. Oh, he bought a hole, so he's just trying to play pretty cautiously. With only a bombard rocket at the 10-minute mark, that's not very much DPS, so he's going to need to get some additional damage quickly if he doesn't want to fall behind in gold. Then again, Alrion might just be taking advantage of the fact that Samael doesn't have that much DPS to just farm up with his towers. As soon as these creeps reach this spot, they do take a lot of damage from Alrion's towers, and maybe they might just try to feed Alrion into a quick hunter again like last game. Todd and Incognito trading blows with one another. Neither of them are going to pursue that fight. And then meanwhile, Fenix trying to get a kill on Pikabar's tech mech. Pikabar is going to be able to run it out just in time. Tech mech with about 600 health left. Somebody's going to have to repair that, so Pikabar is going to be unable to use his tech mech to help him regenerate for the next few minutes, but he will probably be able to bring it back soon. Incognito actually getting a kill on Todd and barely surviving, so good play by him. And Alrion continuing to save up gold. He'll likely get a hunter at around 20 minutes, maybe even sooner at this rate. And then Escanor is probably going to save up for a third weapon and then get a tank. Though he might just save up for a heavy tank right now. Pikabar with a kill on Fenix at the top. Coming out with a heavy tank and a hunter at 20 minutes would really make it almost impossible for these 3 tanks to save up for tier 3 tanks. They're going to have to just get something like heavy tanks in response or die a bunch of times trying to save up 25 minutes for something. Fenix with more pressure on Pikabar. If he can get one more shot off, he can kill him, but his last 3 or 4 shots just hit creeps instead of Pikabar, so Pikabar kind of got a lucky break there, able to kill Fenix instead. Incognito adding another basic magic to his array, and Todd's got to jump out of the way. He doesn't have his jump leveled up very much. He is able to get behind the creeps and hide from Incognito. Incognito's pressing quite too far there. Todd gets the kill on there. That was quite greedy of Incognito. He should have just stayed 1300 range away and tried to get lucky with a bombard shot. Instead, he ran right into the middle of all those creeps and just, instead of getting the kill on Todd got the kill on him. Pikabar gets another kill on Fenix there. Pikabar is getting slightly fed. He is already 5 kills to 1 death, so he might become dangerous at 20 or 25 minutes, and he might be able to hop into this middle, and if Alrion hasn't tanked by then, he might be able to pull Samael or Alrion or gank one of them. Trying to get the kill on BlackBull. Alrion uses his teleport, but his electro cannon or his energy torpedo hits somebody else. Samael is able to follow up with a triple rocket to finish him off. And then Samael escapes with about 5% of his hit points. Todd barely gets a kill on Incognito. These are very close fights between the 2 of them. Todd is winning the matchup though so far. And yeah, let's see if any of these tanks, it's now 13 minutes, so it's still pretty early. Let's see if any of these tanks are saving. Ultima follows up his energy torpedo with an electro cannon, so he'll probably start saving now. BlackBull is not saving yet, and Marquez is not saving yet. Alrion has 4,500 gold already, so he could get the quick heavy tank, or he could save up for a 20-minute hunter, which would also be very fast. Escanor looks like he's trying to save up, so he might get a heavy tank at 20 minutes. And then Samael has just gotten a second bombard rocket, so he might upgrade that just to get some farm. If these guys get a heavy tank and a hunter respectively, that should protect him enough to farm up and get a decent tank at 25 or 30 minutes. Trying to get a kill on Escanor, but they're unable to. They are able to kill Samael, actually. I was going to say that these towers and all these creeps around they do share quite a lot of damage, and so this is a pretty safe spot for the South team to fight from, but Samael did get killed anyway, so good play by the North team there. Now they're going to try to take this opportunity to kill one or two of Alrion's towers. Ultima does have the electro cannon, so he can do a little bit of damage to the tower, but Escanor and Alrion are going to be able to get back in position in time. None of these towers are going to fall. Pikabar continuing to get kills on Fenix. He now is 6-1 against him. And let's see if he has that. He does have that Tech Mech healed up. And Pikabar is also saving up some gold. He already has 3,000, so let's see what kind of tank he ends up getting. Maybe a Sky tank. And then Fenix, meanwhile, has slightly better inventory than Pikabar, but almost no gold saved up. So if he's able to use his superior inventory to get a kill or two right now, one or two shots and Pikabar will go down. And now Fenix is in trouble because BlackBull just teleported in, and Fenix is going to be the one to die now. So instead of getting the kill on Pikabar, he dies again. That's happened like 3 times now this game. Pretty unfortunate for Fenix, but that is how the game goes sometimes. Alrion is a little bit vulnerable for now in the middle, and so is Escanor, so if the North team is able to heal up at the command post and push after this creep wave, they might get a kill or two, or at least force the enemy team to run away and try to start killing Alrion's towers. It's a little bit too late right now. Alrion already has 6,000 gold saved up, so he is going to get the Hunter at 20 minutes, but they can at least help him not get quite as fed. Maybe Samael trying to get a kill on Ultima. He's too far away to follow it up. And then BlackBull comes in to try to gank Fenix. Fenix is able to get the kill on Pikabar, but he is going to die in return as BlackBull comes in from the side. Wonder if anybody pinged that from the South team to alert Fenix of that. Fenix did get a kill, so he's probably happy with the one-to-one trade with Pikabar at least, though he does have to be careful. Pikabar is already 6-2, and he has a couple of assists, so he is getting quite fed, and you saw the gold advantage that he had over Fenix earlier. He is able to get a good tank at 20 minutes, and Fenix won't be able to respond in kind. Todd's going to have to jump out of the way of Incognito before dying. Incognito is probably going to start saving up now. Todd is saving up. He has 2,800 gold, so it looks like the North team is able to save up on the lanes so far. Pikabar does get a heavy tank, and he's going to try to kill this middle. He uses the mortar teams to try to take out Alrion's towers, and he uses his abilities to get a kill on whoever number 5 is. I can't see their names when they're dead. That's why I don't like this timer. Samael. So Alrion has... He's probably going to try to ride that Tinker out to the 30-minute mark. You wonder if it might be worth it to get a helicopter or something. Or if he's just going to tank up now. He doesn't quite have the gold unless he... Let's see, he can sell that for, I think, 675, and that for... So I think he can get the Hunter right now if he goes no weapons, because he can sell that for, I think, 1,900 or 1,800, and that for 600. So 2,400 and sell. Attempted gank on Incognito at the bottom. Incognito is going to be able to ward BlackBull off, and then Marquez follows up, but he also takes too much damage. So I think Alrion might go the no weapons Hunter right now at 18 minutes, which would be a good way to ward off Pikabar, prevent Pikabar from getting too many kills in the middle, and then Alrion will just try to farm up Ultima or Marquez for money. It is right now a 4-on-3 in the middle, so let's see if Pikabar doesn't have all his mana available, but he might have his abilities soon. Incognito might have to come into the middle to help, but it looks like Pikabar is going back, or somebody's going back. Marquez is. I wonder if Pikabar is going to stay in the middle and they're going to have Marquez go onto the lane against Incognito. Pikabar might consider it urgent enough to stop Alrion from farming that he'll just stay in the middle. Trying to get a kill on Escanor, he's only able to hit one of his abilities, one of the ultimate bombs on Escanor, though BlackBull does follow up with a triple rockets and they're able to get the kill. And now they are pushing. Alrion did get a heavy tank instead of a Hunter. Wonder if he was trying to save up for the Hunter and then was stopped by Pikabar. So great choice of tank by Pikabar, and opportune. He came into the middle just in time to stop Alrion from farming, and he probably is very happy that Alrion is only a heavy tank and not a Hunter. Alrion is still going to be dangerous, as he's a relatively decent player in the mid, but he won't be able to do his build that he's been doing a lot recently, which is a fed Hunter. Todd or actually that's Ultima. Where is Todd? Todd is at the top trying to get a kill on Fenix. He's going to use his W to stun him. If he has the Q to follow it up, I think that Q was level 3 and he did like 750 damage to him. But Fenix is just barely able to survive. Todd does have level 10 now, so he can use the phase out on Fenix, and Fenix does have to be very careful. He can't hide behind his own creeps anymore. And then Todd is saving up, and so is Fenix now. Looks like Ultima's at the bottom. He's also saving up some gold. If two people teleport in, they can get a quick kill on him. Fenix is going to teleport in, and that's just a tech mech from Incognito. If they could have gotten a 2-on-1, they could have easily killed Ultima. Now it is a 2-on-1. If Fenix has a triple rockets in him, I think he used it on Todd recently, but it should be recharged. Ultima is probably going to be able to get out of the way there. Yeah, he's able to heal up, and Incognito's weapons are distracted by the creeps. Pikabar continuing to put pressure on the middle, and somebody's tech mech just saved BlackBull. That was his own, kinetic shield. BlackBull saved himself with that kinetic shield there. We saw Pikabar get a couple of kills on the alert screen while I was focusing on Incognito and Fenix. So he is beating quite a lot. He has 9 kills already at 20 minutes. And BlackBull is saving up. He has a modest amount of gold, and Marquez has a modest amount of gold. So neither of them are going to get tanks anytime soon, but if Pikabar is able to tank for them and BlackBull is able to use his kinetic shield at the opportune moment, they can probably save up till 25 minutes, perhaps even beyond. Alrion's a little bit vulnerable right here. He might get triple rocketed a couple of times, and Pikabar's going to follow it up with his own Q ability and the ultimate. And so now Alrion is dead. Samael has to flee to his own command post. He doesn't have very much DPS, so he can't deal with these mortar teams of Pikabar that effectively. And they're starting to kill this tower. They might get the kill on the tower before they have to flee. Escanor comes in just in time and uses the flame strike, but Pikabar's mortar teams are able to finish off this tower, and now this middle is vulnerable. And so Incognito needs to be cognizant of that. Ultima has a heavy tank, so he's going to put pressure on this bottom now. Incognito needs a tank soon. He's probably going to lose this matchup to Ultima. They have similar amount of weapons. I think Ultima may have spec'd the mortar teams instead of the tank cannon. He doesn't have as much DPS as I would expect. Fenix with another heavy tank, so we've got a lot of heavy tanks this game. Fenix might just try to take the matchup with Ultima. He probably doesn't want the matchup with Todd. I think Sky Tank beats Heavy Tank in a one-on-one. And now Fenix is a little bit vulnerable, takes a shot from Ultima and also a stun. And now Todd uses his energy bomb on him. Let's see if they're able to get the kill. Fenix is going to use his ultimate ability to try to ward them off, kill the creeps at least. Todd is vulnerable, Incognito is also vulnerable, but BlackBull comes in to swing the fight and kills Incognito. So Escanor is now a no-weapon Sky Tank, and Alrion is a heavy tank, so Samael is the only one yet to save up for a tank. But he only has 1,700 gold, really not a lot. And they've got to be careful. Pikabar might just walk in. The south team is busy trying to push the bottom, and Pikabar comes in and builds a tower. He's got Marquez here to accompany him, who gets a reinforcement. Escanor gets stunned and gets ultimate. Gets hit by the ultimate. Escanor's going to die, Incognito's going to die. You see BlackBull come in from the side, and then Samael got killed by Marquez. So that was a blunder by the south team there, trying to push when their middle was so vulnerable. And I wonder if the south team is just going to give up at this point, since the north team is saving up a lot more gold than they are, and now they have the middle command post. So any one of these players could get a ghost tank. I don't know if any of them know how to play ghost tank, but they could get a ghost tank and just siege the crap out of this base, and then just try to defend. The top team trying to draw instead of lose the game. I don't think the north team is going to let them do that. They do have quite a lot of gold to gain from killing these towers. Pikabar does have the heavy tank, so he can siege with his mortar teams as well. And then I think Ultima also has a heavy tank, so they might not even need to get ghost tanks. They can just rely on the heavy tanks to siege the base, and in the meantime defend their command post. I think 4 of the 5 Dark Force players have tried to draw to get out of this loss. I don't think the north team, nobody on the north team has accepted the draw, so let's see how quickly they can give up. Incognito with 3,400 gold, he's going to need a tank fast. He doesn't have quite enough to save up for a tier 3 tank, so he's kind of stuck with the distributor for now. Alrion got a kill on BlackBull, so that's good for the south team. I'm just looking at the scoreboard right now. It's 31 kills on the north team to 8 on the south team, so they've got a long ways to go if they want to make this up. And the north team is going to get an advantage by killing these towers, and yep, the south team gives up. So that's 2 quick games in a row that ended before 25 minutes. So hopefully we'll get another good game soon. It is my pleasure to commentate this, as always. Titan Music, out.